All right. Well, hey, um, I mean, look, we all need to be fiscally responsible, right?
No.
Okay. Well, if you would like to, might I suggest perhaps finding a way to, launder some of that dirty money you're holding on to?
Oh, like TD?
Like maybe using Pokemon cards.
You know what? Yeah, okay. That sounds like okay, because it's all appreciation and value over actual worthless things.
Actual former Yakuza executive explains how the Yakuza used Pokemon cards to launder money.
Of course, it's the pachinko racket, but with Pokemon cards.
100%. I mean, there's nothing else to. It's obvious. It's just like, yeah, you take your cash and you put it into something that's not as high risk. And Pokemon cards are easy to hide. You can take them overseas and store them there. You can't get tracked down. Basically, an interview was done with an anonymous Yakuza group executive who spoke to a Japanese news outlet and explained that a lot of business is covered using Pokemon cards. And the values are all, of course, because they're all worth different amounts and such. The highest value card was 5.2 million in 2021. I'm guessing it was a Charizard. And yeah, it's basically been a stable enough means that the Japanese underground can use them as a way of cleaning that money up and going back and forth.
That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Okay, let's think. Do you want to go on an international flight with a briefcase full of cocaine or Pokemon cards?
Yeah. I mean, over here, exactly. It's you put it into an art piece, right? You buy a Banksy. Same bit, right? Just find something.
This art is just so good. Wow. This art. Wow.
Ignore the conspicuous shredder placed beneath the piece. That is Wi-Fi compatible. That has been hooked up to the. It
was awesome seeing those dudes get punked, though. That was great.
But then you have to imagine like someone in the audience was standing there with the remote button, and then as soon as they pressed sold, they pressed it and did it. And you just kind of look around the room and it's like if they really wanted to, they could figure out which one of these fuckers did that. They could.
Yeah, but that's not art, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's just funny to me because you would think this interview in this year would be like, oh yeah, we all put our money in crypto, but it's not. It's in physical Pokemon cards.
The ultimate proof of crypto and NFTs and all that shit's transience in the long term is that if crypto was super good and the new way future, you would see the mafia and the triads and the Yakuza and the Russians just so in it, you would just know Tony Lips every single fucking time went to go trade.
Well, to be fair, the Russians are way in it, and anytime they hack and take over your channel, that's the first thing they're doing,
is that Russians? Oh, bummer.
Oh yeah, all the FGC people that got their sites taken over were just it immediately turns into a Russian channel with a live stream. That's.
I'm glad that Rooflemonger got his channel back really fast.
Yeah, they I heard that some people were having some bigger struggles with that. However, I'm glad that it was right on time for us to be at Holiday Matsuri, and then while he was on stage, he's going hey guys, what's up? I'm Rooflemonger. I make fighting game YouTube videos, and I yelled out, you sell crypto. He's like, I also sell crypto. Yeah. It was a good time. And then Lord Knight was running over to like his after he was running over to a casual station to play some games. And I walked up to him behind him, just like, hey, yo, man, I got some ETH for sale. You know anyone who's buying? And he's just like, yeah, all right, man. All right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Real funny.
I don't know, man. It just seems to me that if this thing was the future, then you wouldn't need to relentlessly criminally advertise it. That it would be something that people would seek out on their own.
Nah, dude. We need to take over their channels and force them to be these giant dump spaces for you, because you just don't know about the future yet. We're helping you. When we take over Obama's Twitter, and that's the first thing we do, is just post a wallet. Yeah. Anyway, well, look, maybe people have some extra money in their pockets now that Amazon has finally canceled the mighty number 9 3DS pre-orders. Right? Maybe you got a little bit of pocket change now that they've finally given you your money back.
So is that how many platforms did Mighty Number 9 just not come out on?
All but one? No.
Okay. So the 3DS
was that not the end state of affairs? I'm shocked because I didn't know that this was still a thing they were holding.
Someone somewhere went, wait, what the fuck is this? And killed the account, I'm sure.
So, they don't charge. Amazon doesn't charge you until the actual order goes through. Oh, okay, all right. So yeah.
But still, though.
All right. It was just literally. It was a clerical bit in the system.
Living in our hearts.
Man,
Inafune fucking sucks so bad. Oh, I hate that guy.
I mean, if you did have one, it's been 9 years until they said,
yo, if you don't support Mighty Number 9, you're fucking stupid. Is that me that said that? I feel like it was. Regardless, oops.
We don't need, listen, enough. We've been reminded thoroughly about how the first episode of the Friendcasts is like, yeah, go support that. That's awesome. Mega Man's back. Inafune-san, don't die. Followed by also talking about one or two other, yeah. I mean, look, I will say this, that if anything, the timeline from the Friendcast through Castle Super Beast has been a clear path of Kickstarter in the games industry energy. That tracked the, like, oh my god, we can fund the games ourselves and get what we want. This will fix everything. We'll just be able to do it ourselves from now on. That's awesome. And then every subsequent into the most recent, where nowadays if a Kickstarter for anything pops up, which it rarely ever does, it's like, hey, this looks kind of cool. Look at it and make your own decisions, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to tell anybody to spend anything on a fucking Kickstarter that can't be trusted.
The hindsight that even the most like open and honest and straightforward Kickstarter was actually just funding a publisher pitch is like the biggest bummer ever.
Then there's
right? So like Pillars of Eternity is like a really good example. I think both of those games came out great. They're not perfect, and they succeeded in all their stated goals. But those were just like funding campaigns to show, I think it was Paradox, that there was enough interest in the game to fund it.
Yeah, Shenmue obviously being the king of these like lie campaigns. It's weird. I mean, there's like the standout is like Shovel Knight, of course. Like that's like the big, clear, honest winner of just like, if they said what they were going to do, they did that, and then they did more, and great. Nothing else to say about it.
I think Undertale. I think Hat in Time.
But I'm like, it's almost like, so stuff like Undertale and that
Hollow Knight.
It almost like stops being thought about as a Kickstarter project after the success reaches a certain point, But it's nice that there's these these examples that we've been given. Okay, yeah, Star Citizen, rather Papers, Please, Ukulele, Spark the Electric Jester.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3,
Awesome.
as somebody pointed out.
Awesome. It's, this is nice. But like, it just sucks that the failures and the deceit and the non-accountability have just kind of made it a thing where you're like, yeah, I don't really trust this as much anymore,
And to those of you who say, like, basically a lot of people here like, oh man, I've been burned on Kickstarters, and now I have trouble trusting them, and they respond with a huge amount of games that were actually really high quality out of crowdfunding. So I'm seeing people say both Hades games. I'm seeing
Darkest Dungeon. The list goes on.
Psychonauts 2 is actually maybe the worst example possible, because the Psychonauts 2 Fig campaign literally ran out of money, and the only reason that game got finished is because Microsoft bought Double Fine.
I don't think that we can, like, there's no shortage. There's a list we can keep going down of good games that have come out as a result of successful crowdfunding
Absolutely.
campaigns.
There's a huge amount of them, but the burns hurt
The
so
feeling
bad.
of you robbed me of $80 and did nothing.
Bro,
fucking sucks.
I don't even know, but when's the last time I got a Project Phoenix update in my fucking email?
God. That's it. It just sucks.
Let me see if I can find that.
And
Project.
and a lot of those good releases don't ease that burn of the lying crazy person that took your money and fucked off. Hey, guess what? Anyone who's been making content on the internet has had this discussion before, but the reason why you notice negative comments and like they stand out more than positives do is because
they feel twice as strong.
Because negativity is reinforced twice as strong in your brain, because we as human beings are trained to like see positives and take them at face value, but negatives are things to be reminded of, because for evolutionary purposes, something threatening to you would be much more dangerous than something positive. So you register bad things and threats, and they imprint stronger, right? So like,
it's called loss aversion.
It's a part of what being a human being is, and therefore losing one Kickstarter that robbed you is not going to make the successes feel better, even though there's many more of those. It's part of what we are. So yeah. Mighty Number 9 3DS pre-orders released.
The saga is over.
Finally.
What do you think the timeline is for Inafune going to jail? Not in relation to Mighty Number 9. Just like, he seems like the kind of guy who's allegedly doing crimes.
Maybe when, I don't know, is Yuji Naka going to name him a co-defendant? Like,
yeah, fuck it, let's go.
When he gets wrapped up. Phoenix Wright style, they introduce a new witness. Maybe. I don't know. I imagine right around the time Shenmue 4 gets confirmed.